Good evening, my name's Harvey Lime.
And my name's Ian Holm.
And you're watching the 7th episode of Examining Cinema.
So, Brazil, eh? A great movie.
I think one of Jasper, you and I's all-time favourite films.
Well, so, there was a period in my life where I didn't actually really know or appreciate a lot of older movies or just classic movies.
Yeah.
Sci-fi as well, which is really weird considering how much I love sci-fi.
Yeah, now.
And this was one of the first films that ultimately led me down to look at other things.
I remember probably like 4 or so years ago, I just randomly downloaded it. It was like top 50 sci-fi movies, and I haven't seen that. Downloaded it, we watched it. Like, oh my god, this is amazing!
It just boggles the mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd watched it since. I think I probably did, but a repeated viewing now is just it's awe-inspiring to just look at the attention to detail and the
set design. World setup is so realised, and you believe every moment of it just through the set design. And Gilliam's directing, the technicality is just there. He's framing, he's panning, he's proficient, he's amazing.
It's so much more elegant than I remember it.
Yeah, I think, as Terry Gilliam directed the film of Monty Python fame, he started doing the animations for them back in the day. He's in a few skits, but he's not really on camera all that much.
You are hereby charged that you did on diverse nights commit heresy against the Holy Church. My own man. That's enough!
And then, he moved on, he did Time Bandits, he's done 13 Monkeys, he's done...
Did he do 13 Monkeys or 12 Monkeys?
12 Monkeys.
Did he do 12 Monkeys?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, wow.
Zero Theorem, he's done a whole bunch of stuff. Baron Munchausen.
Which I love,
Yeah. And I think it'd be easy to write him off as like the Monty Python guy doing these silly movies, but his technical ability as a director is so evident through watching this film. You're like, wow, what a fucking legend.
For me, 12 Monkeys, Baron Munchausen, and Brazil, plus Monty Python, which I'm a huge fan of. It just boggles the mind that this guy is doing this
and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
No way!
Yeah, which is probably one of the best book-to-movie adaptations of all time.
I had no idea
I'm a massive Hunter S. Thompson fan, and that movie is the book.
Strange memories on this nervous night in Las Vegas. Has it been 5 years? 6? It seems like a lifetime. The kind of peak that never comes again.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Well, so there you go, right? And it's just it's hard not to just be shocked by what you're watching.
Yeah.
It's the film specific things that he's juggling, like the complexities that he's juggling. It's like being able to have a super busy shot. Right? So and that could come in different forms. That can be like a bunch of different actors being coordinated to do lots of things, and then moving through them, or just having a still shot, reverse shot, but every reverse shot has all this other crap going on in the background. And so, but it's busy but not distracting, which is amazing. To be able to do that, and you watch it, and then you immediately comes to mind all the other times that you see other movies and they fail in doing something like that.
It's confusing.
This will start getting redundant as we do other movies because they'll all be old classic movies. And so, it's so refreshing to watch. Practical effects and all these very, very tried and true methods executed extremely well.
Yeah, if you've seen any of my Star Trek or Doctor Who things, you know that I absolutely love miniatures. I think model work is superb. If if you look at the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, all the buildings and locations, Rivendell, were all models.
Helm's Deep, which is a really great example.
It looks real, it holds up as a practical effect. Then you go to Hobbit 10 years later, all that shit's CGI, and it looks
disgusting.
crap.
It actually looks like
in comparison. Why would you do that? This is going to last forever. This looks like garbage when it came out.
That's absolutely right.
And yeah, this film has some amazing model work, which during my first watches didn't even realize was model work. During my research, I found out it was model work. It's like the dream sequence with Sam, him flying. They got a little miniature of a guy with wings flying, shot it at
I didn't know that the guy was miniature.
Yeah, it's like the close-ups of him is obviously the actor, but yeah, him flying through the clouds, which we'll cut to now. What they did was they actually shot a model at like a high frame rate,
That's fucking
2 or 3, and then played it back at normal 24 frames per second, and that's how they got those shots. It's no blue screen, it's no green screen, it's not a guy on wires, it's a model shot, and you just, I couldn't tell.
No, so I didn't know. I knew, so I was watching it, and I was watching it, and it was beautiful to see the transitions between. So I did notice a lot of the model things. So they were doing the landscape where you see the landscape before the buildings pop up.
That's great.
And now I was a bit confused about, is that a helicopter shot, and then they switched to the model ground with the things popping up because you could see.
No, it's all models.
Yeah,
they did the same thing with that too. They shot it at a high frame rate, and then they played it back at 24. So all the like rocks falling stuff looks real. And the car chase at the end too, with them in the truck and the little cars chasing, that was all model work. Explosions.
When the house dropped down off the trailer and they crash into it. Yeah, that was really cool. And again, just the transitions between your set shots and then your model shots.
Seamless.
It's seamless, and you know, you'll pick up on the fact that they're using miniatures if you've seen a lot of miniatures before. But you know, you'll still be left guessing even if you're oversaturated by that.
It's great.
It's beautiful, and so the continuity between the dream sequences and what's going on as well is really cool. The dream sequences were really cool, actually.
Yeah, I love the dream sequences. The samurai at the end, he's stabbing him, and the fire shooting out,
effects,
which is all practical, which is great. He takes his mask off, and it's him.
Is that a nod to Star Wars, or was this before Star Wars?
85. What did Empire come out in 80? So yeah, I guess this was after Star Wars.
Okay.
So yeah, possibly. But yeah, it's even, this film is so detailed and thriving. Like it's a play on words because he's a samurai, right? He takes off the mask and it's him. It's like Sam M.I. That was him.
Okay.
Yeah, and there were these creepy, weird guys pulling the cage with his love interest in it, and they're executed so well.
Well, that shot, that whole bit with the creepy ass fucking things, it's so that's so it's nightmarish.
Yeah, they got the baby face and the weird arms.
That's fucking great. It just it's amazing. It's hard. I'm watching it, my jaws agape, watching it thinking, this is so cool. Again, it's all the different elements and, the whole thing itself, it's framed, you know, it's the dystopian thing, but it explores so many different elements and it juggles them, again, elegantly and retains really great continuity. Well, so, you know, it's even just at the very base level, juggling between the grim, urbanized, dystopian, nightmarish reality with the dry, cynical British humour.
Yeah, the tone is great and it works perfectly. You don't think you could have a movie with explosions and people rolling around the ground and blood and then cut to people not caring about it and it be humorous, and it is. I laughed out openly in this movie so much.
That's it. Nothing to worry about.
Right, it's Tuttle downstairs who can worry, eh?
Tuttle? His name's Fuddle. There must be some mistake.
Mistake?
We don't make mistakes. Bloody typical. They've gone back to metric without telling us.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, well, so all the elements. So I love the dystopian sort of thing. That I feel like there's nothing more satisfying than a really depressing, grim movie, dark, but well executed. I think so. You've got what is it? THX 1138, 1984, and this, and they all have in common the sort of basically watching. The main character approach a precipice and then fall off, and then basically within this dystopian world, they just start falling. It all starts falling apart around them, and it's beautiful watching them just. And then the inevitable ending where they get obviously captured by the dystopian nightmare.
I always love when movies end on that horrible note. Should we just talk about that now? We can get back into other stuff later on.
Oh yeah, well, so spoilers, I guess. If you haven't seen,
if you haven't seen it, don't watch this piece of crap review. Go and watch the fucking movie. Go and watch the movie. It's amazing.
It's like this is an ad for the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few false endings, and this movie does go for a long time. It goes for 2.5 hours or so. And I can see how some people, especially with the 2 false endings, would be kind of like, come on, just finish. I'm not saying I was quite on that page, but it does feel like a long movie.
Yeah, I think so. So, almost certainly. Well, you're assaulted by a lot of stuff. There's a lot going on, and that's not necessarily in a bad way or a good way. It just is. And so I think on a second viewing, I didn't have that problem. I was happy to sort of sit there because I really like the long form movies. I was kept in. I was again because I sort of revel in the depressing sort of thing. I enjoy the false endings where you see the character realize that and experience that. It's beautiful sort of life.
And then the note it ends on, much like Winston in 1984. Sam gets lobotomized by this society. He finally gets broken. The system beats him down and breaks him. And that's the ending we leave on.
Jack, no, you can't. No, Jack, please. Jack, no, don't. Please, Jack, no.
It's beautiful. Well, even the setting for the ending. He gets fucked by the system that is embroiled in and all that sort of stuff. So that's what happens, right? He ends up in a chair being fucked. By someone he knows and had some sort of relationship with. The him encountering his friend or whatever at the end is really beautiful. Mask. And Michael Palin's acting is
Michael Palin's great.
Michael Palin. And the interactions between them is great. And setting like an old nuclear tower.
Like the tower. Just looks
which is really cool. Yeah, it looks great. Well, it's just framing the shot, right?
To get those wide angles in of him sitting in the vast emptiness of this scene.
Well, so the way that they so when he originally goes to see Michael Palin, and they're hinting at what he does do, which is basically a torturer. He's
got blood all on his shirt, but they're all so like disenfranchised and numb to the system they're in. Like you get the shots of the explosions in the restaurant and people keep on eating. That was because there was an explosion in the 80s in a department store, and then the department store opened back up 3 days later. It was kind of Terry saying that people are disenfranchised to this violence and have their blinders on. So we get the shots of Palin covered in blood with the rips, and it's just casual. Like, this is what you do. It's great.
Well, they got the typing lady right in his office, and it's like please stop. And then it's like she takes off the thing.
Just completely straight laced.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's the way that it's executed.
Can I help you?
The whole story kicks off because there's a fly in a guy's office and he tries to swat at it and he hits a typewriter. and instead of Buttle, it goes to Tuttle, and that's how this whole narrative kicks off. Just a little accident. So this guy owed money to the government, they go and get him. This is one of the opening scenes, and it really encapsulates the tone, because it's a very violent, like SWAT kicking down the door, cutting a hole in the roof, smashing windows, coming in is very violent, you got the wife screaming, the kid's freaking out, and then it cuts, and he's like, you need to sign form B6.A, to like a completely humorous Monty Python-esque moment.
I hereby inform you, under powers entrusted to me under Section 476, that Mr. Buttle, Archibald, residing at 412 North Tower, Shangri-La Towers, has been invited to assist the Ministry of Information with certain inquiries, and that he is liable to certain financial obligations as specified in Council Order RB/CZ/907/X. Sign here, please.
And then, yeah, they repossess him, the wrong guy, and he ends up dying. And then there's a great moment where Sam goes back to give the wife a receipt for the dead husband that they accidentally killed without batting like an eyelash. Like, he doesn't realise how flawed and fucked up and horrible this system is. It's like, here's the $35 receipt for your husband, which we accidentally killed. Sorry.
What have you done with the money?
Yeah, and he's like, oh, what do you mean? Just sign the receipt.
Well, he's insulated. They're all insulated to the grimness of the system, right? And that's part of the dystopian theme.
I do assure you, Mrs. Buttle, the Ministry is very scrupulous about following up and eradicating any error. But if you do have any complaints you wish to make, I'd be, well, only too happy to send you the appropriate forms.
What have you done with his body?
They set up the premise that there's this supposedly well-oiled machine, right? Which they're also satirising the extreme lengths that bureaucracy goes to and all that sort of stuff, and how anal it is.
Yeah.
But then if something goes wrong, something little goes wrong, the fucking catastrophic events that follow,
and everyone shifts the blame off them. It wasn't our department's problem because we did this.
It's what's his face in the high department. But, you know, blah blah blah.
Yeah, the whole thing is a satire on bureaucracy, which is great. 1984 is like the violent militaristic government, and you take that and Terry shifts it into the humorous satirical
apathetic
bureaucracy, which I just love.
It's interesting to look at the difference, I guess, or just do a quick spot of the difference between the type of dystopias in say 1984 in Brazil. I guess this is like it's consumer focused oligarchy. So they've got like the faux capitalism, except the central bureaucracies got a monopoly on making everything. So you can go to a store and you can buy, one of 20 different TVs, except they're all made by the fucking central agency.
Which is great.
And and they have the upper class who are all fucking weirdos and stuff like that. Another example of the great special practical effects is like so there's a subplot. There's an entire subplot about. So you've got the upper class and the women, and they're all obsessed with the plastic surgery and getting looking younger and all that sort of stuff. And there's an entire subplot about two different approaches to plastic surgery.
Sam's mum's friend.
And so there's Sam's mum's friend is seeing a plastic surgeon who's using acid therapy as opposed to using a knife. Like doing grafts with using high volatility acid. And her entire subplot throughout the movies, you see her 3 or 4 times. It's
worse and worse.
Well, so you see her and she's got like a little bandage here, and it's like, oh, it's just a slight complication.
What on earth's happened to you?
It was a little complication. Dr. Chapman says it often happens with a delicate skin like mine. Nothing to worry about. He's promised me these bandages will be off in a jiffy.
She's completely deluded into thinking that there's nothing wrong and that this is all good, and then every time you see her from then on, the bandages get worse and worse. She gets more and more covered in infections and all that sort of stuff until the very end where he opens there's a funeral scene and she's just sludge. She's completely disintegrated. It's fucking amazing. One
of my biggest holy crap moments on my first viewing of this was a reveal of a renegade air conditioner mechanic played by Academy Award winner Robert De Niro. You could be in the headspace of, this is a funny upbeat film, and then bam, all of a sudden it's Robert De Niro. You're like, what the fuck is, what are you doing here? Father too, and all this. Why are you doing that? Yeah. And it's just a small role. He has like 3 scenes and that, which really points to Gillian's expertise too, that he was able to get such brilliant actors even for little parts. But also, this character is amazing. He's in the love of it. He loves fixing heating systems.
Yeah, well, so he's a rogue heating engineer.
Yeah. He's off the grid and he's a renegade because he wants to circumnavigate all the bureaucracy and just do what he loves.
Which is fixing heating systems.
Yeah.
Listen, this whole system of yours could be on fire, and I couldn't even turn on a kitchen tap without filling out a 27B/6. Bloody paperwork.
I suppose one has to expect a certain amount.
Why? I came into this game for the action, the excitement. Go anywhere, travel light, get in, get out. Wherever there's trouble, a man alone.
So he bursts in, he's got a gun, and he's all covert, dressed in black, and he's fixing the aircon.
Well, also, so Robert De Niro's acting in this is great. It's just the use of all the tools. So one of the other things is that they've littered every scene with props and all this crazy shit. And the way that the actors are interacting with the environment in the shots, the tools and all the gear and stuff.
Nothing works properly.
It's so fucking great.
Twisted.
So you're watching Robert De Niro and he fucking jumps in and he pulls out a thing. He's like,
yeah. Sam thinks he's going to assassinate him. And he's like, no, I got your phone call. I'm here to fix it.
I intercepted your phone call.
I intercepted. It's brilliant. And then at the end he just disappears on the zip line. and you as the audience are left sitting there like, what the?
Well, even the actor himself. Well, every different location that they've got feels really lived in and really well done. Well, so you're doing fucking you've got the where they capture Buttle. The central agency comes to capture Buttle. And you've got the 2 apartments, right? And so you've got this sense of verticality that they're coexisting in the same world, which is so they're like so a SWAT, right, in this universe, instead of just breaking through the doors and going through the windows, in an apartment, they cut a fucking circle out of the floor of this person's apartment to get to your apartment, which drops through, and then you've got a person looking through there, and so now you've got this verticality and there's continuity between this. And you go into the next apartment, she's in the bath, and fucking, you look at the tiles and they're all dirty, and it's like, how long did it take them to make these fucking locations? And what sort of budget did they have? Because they've just fucking gone all out doing this thing. Jonathan Pryce.
Yes.
Who's a great actor.
He does a great job in this movie.
Well, I never really appreciated him. He only he plays the same. He plays the same character in Pirates of the Caribbean and Taboo, the series by Ridley Scott. He plays exactly the same character in
typecast.
Well, East India Trading Company, right? Typecast. Well, he's really good at it though.
Fair enough.
Yeah, well, so he does the wake up routine, and they've got that like the automatic breakfast making alarm thing that they have in all other movies. Wallace and Gromit, I guess.
It's been in a few things.
And but it all fucking fails miserably because it's a shitty rundown urbanized dystopia.
Everything's broken and retrofitted. I love Sam's character too, because he's like the everyman, and we see this dystopian society through his eyes. He's not Indiana Jones. He's not Luke Skywalker. He's just like a bureaucrat who's trapped in
Joe Blow. So he's presented to us as, and they definitely go into his whole arc, is that he's happy in his life. He's found his niche in the fucking thing.
He's got his head down.
Well, his mother's all connected because she's an oligarch, so she's all connected, and she wants to move him up through high society. But he's happy in his fucking, which also we'll talk about the office that he works in.
Yeah.
The initial opening shot. Again,
brilliantly choreographed.
It's just big long shot through this fucking. So they've got, I guess, the two main things full of like computer terminals and office terminals, and hundreds of people, doing the paper thing, and everybody's shifting, and one person going this way.
That song too, which just works perfectly. I don't know what it's called, like da 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 da.
The score as well. Again, being able to juggle the grim, the violent, the funny, the cynical, the ugly, the brutal, with this happy upbeat music that comes in every now and then.
They use that tune again at the end. There's a scene where Rob De Niro's character literally gets swallowed by bureaucracy. A paper attaches to his leg, and then he starts getting swarmed by all these forms, and Sam is like in at him trying to rip all the papers off, and then he's just gone. Like he literally turns into bureaucracy, and they're using that same song in that moment, but it just has like a darker synth behind it,
it's really
and that twisted what the song means.
That shot's great too, because that's like a reverse shot when they're doing the paper attaching to it.
It would have been the other way around.
It's really well done too. It's there's maybe one little part in it that you can tell it's like a reverse. How it sort of looks unnatural. But besides that, it looks fucking great.
Yeah, once again.
Just something that could have easily been
now it would be fucking CGI, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and would look fucking garbage.
Yeah.
So I don't, when it comes to CGI, I don't know how a lot of these films that we see are going to stand up in 10 years or 20 years. But what I do know for certain is that movies like Brazil, fucking 20 or 30 years later, look amazing still. And they're timeless because of that. It's like when What's-Her-Face, our main, our female lead, co-lead, she goes to the first desk at the central bureaucracy place, and they got that robot, or whatever, the practical effects robot, and it's just, and so so we've got a reverse shot with her trying to get shit done through the bureaucracy with the front desk person, and just in the background, you've got this like a robot, an eye on a robot going like just behind her, and it's fucking, it's not distracting, it's great. And she's interacting with it in real time in the scene as she's talking. She's like pushing it away, or like, what the fuck? She's trying to do this thing.
And it looks great. Like, presumably they built it out of not ideal equipment and stuff. It was the 80s, their budget wasn't incredible. And just how they've designed it, the art direction of this robot is perfect.
I want to report a wrongful arrest.
You want information adjustments, different department.
I've been to information adjustments. They sent me here. They said you have a form I need to fill out.
It doesn't look like, they've just gotten this and put that on it. It looks like a fully realized, functioning robot.
Well, they've got the sound design too, which is really good
that's true.
What was their budget actually? Do you know?
It was $13 million.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that was in 1985, so obviously inflation would have been a lot more now.
We'll put the inflation number calculated for inflation.
What $13 million is now from 1985. So it was a big budget, but considering what they did very well for their money.
Well, was it a box office success or lukewarm?
I think it was lukewarm.
That's a shame.
It is. This film isn't for everyone. Obviously, the idiots who like Transformers are going to get to the end scene.
They're not watching us right now.
Yeah.
Presumably. And if you are, well, please watch this movie.
There was, with a lot of different alternative movies, as there normally is, there's a lot of studio interference too. They, I think Fox distributed it through Europe and the rest of the world, and then Paramount was going to distribute it in America. And they came to Gillian, and it's a 2.5-hour movie, and they're like, this needs to be an hour and a half. They wanted to cut off the lobotomy end scene and end on the happy note.
Yeah, and on the happy happy note.
End on a happy note with him. It's like, that's not the movie. You guys don't get it.
What they should have done is they should have gotten the Blade Runner happy ending and just tacked it on the end of Brazil, right? Because fuck continuity, fuck artistic integrity.
Yeah, tone. Don't worry about tone.
You know, not that completes his arc and really fully realizes the fucking the universe that he's inhabiting, having this fucked up, really depressing ending. No, fuck that. Who cares? You know,
Audiences won't like this.
Could you imagine? I mean, I don't think it would necessarily be the worst thing in the world had we've seen it and they never had the depressing ending. But now that we've seen it, it would totally be missing.
Yeah, it misses the entire point of the entire film.
Well, it'd be like doing it with 1984, right? Could you imagine?
And Winston lives happier.
Riding into the fucking sunset.
Yeah, well, they did that with Blade Runner too.
Also, how many fingers am I holding up? 3. Oh, yeah, you're right. Off you go. Yeah, you can reintegrate back into society now.
But Terry for the studio, and he just kept on going for months and months. He was using all these weird tactics. The whole thing is
trying to misdirect
humans. Yeah, like he went on a talk show and he's like, this guy, studio executive of Paramount, won't release my fucking movie on like television and stuff. And yeah, he ended up getting it released as it was in America after like what I can't imagine would be like such a horrible headache.
Yeah.
Why should this guy have to suffer with all this bullshit after making this great movie?
Well, how many times have we heard that same fucking story?
Do you guys make movies? No, you make money. Do you know anything about making movies? Like, I can't imagine sitting down and watching this film and going, we need to cut an hour out of this. What the fuck are you talking about?
Not gonna work, Sam. Not gonna work, Terry. This is not good. This is not good for our audience. How can we sell popcorn with a thing when it's all depressing? You gotta
don't like sad endings, Terry. This is horrible. What will the kids think? What will the kids think of lobotomy, Terry?
And just like, again, and so coming back to the audience thing, actually, we watched Annihilation, another Netflix movie, and we saw Red Letter Media who were talking about this, and and we're really at the tail end of it now, where the same thing that was happening in fucking 1985 is happening now.
Yeah.
But these movies, again, it was lukewarm, you reckon, reception.
Well, that's why they didn't even release Annihilation in cinemas here. It came out in cinemas in America. Here it was just like straight to Netflix. There were 2 movies in the last month I wanted to see. Phantom Thread by Paul Thomas Anderson, drama with Daniel Day-Lewis. Not at the fucking cinema.
Was it not?
It was like a week after it came out. It was at Chermside, which is a few suburbs away from here. Not in my local cinema, not in any of my other local cinemas. Like 2 showings per week. And then Annihilation was like, it doesn't even come out here. Like, you just stop catering to me.
What's the point? Well, so that's why Netflix is great, right? Is that we'll see. Well, so I can sit at home and I can put on Brazil, or I can put on 1984, I can put on fucking, THX 113. Any of these customers, I can watch it on a big screen. I don't have to fucking worry about that bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's the point that we're at now.
Yeah, which is good.
That's fine.
We're not held at fucking hostage by the big cinemas. You want to watch Fast and the Furious 12? No. Transformers 8? No. Can I see a dark, gritty film that doesn't pander to fucking morons? No.
You like Transformers? Let's stop.
Eat it. The Rock. He's in Transformers and Fast and the Furious.
Again, just watching something like this really brings up those sort of that cynicism. Well, again, I love the cynicism in the movie, but cynical about cinema at the same time when you're watching something like this.
Just big wigs and producers being cannous.
And it can seem redundant because it's basically the same story every fucking movie that we'll probably be talking about.
It keeps on happening.
It keeps on happening. How many times we'll probably go into the fucking dramas that they all have.
Yeah.
But let this be a fucking, maybe we'll just stop mentioning it after this.
Yeah.
Is that it's a given. Any of these, movies that we really like, that you can make a great argument for how good it is.
If it's a little bit different, if it doesn't follow a normal story arc, if it doesn't end on a brilliant note, then they've got to fuck with it. So this film is near perfect in my eyes, but there's a moment at the end, I don't think it really matters, but Sam's love interest, who we don't really see through the whole movie, we just see her in dream sequences here and there and other scenes. at the end, for no real reason, she has no real motivation. She just like is in love with Sam all of a sudden, and they just like elope and want to spend their life happily together. They have a sex scene. Just like, where the fuck did this come from? Because before that, she was like, get the fuck out of my truck. Get out of here. Who are you? What's going on?
Well, I think they have that whole scene when she's trying to get rid of him, which is fucking great.
Yeah,
it's like a completely disillusioned with his dream girl. In reality, and so she finally kicks him off, and she thinks he's dead or she's killed him or something. And so you can imagine that's where the relationship slowly starts building.
Yeah.
And then he like pisses her off again.
Yeah.
And
the movie's already like an hour and 40 minutes in at this point, and we're just introduced to the love interest.
Realising the interaction between our two love characters.
I've been worried sick about you.
I think you would just have to go, okay, well, when did he actually get captured finally to be tortured?
Yeah.
Because they have the scenes where he is captured.
Yeah, you could argue that whole them getting together and all that sequence was part of the crazy, weird lobotomy shit.
I think because, I think that, well, again, it's like I guess the lack of continuity between him dreaming about this person and then actually meeting her in real life.
Yeah.
I think that you can kind of skirt around that. The same could maybe be said for this. Depends how far you want to go. I think that's a valid critique.
Yeah.
Questioning character motivations, because everything else besides that, even if it is this surrealist, whatever realised universe where they're all fucking messed up as characters and people.
Yeah.
It's all being legitimate, or at least their character traits and what they do and what they say.
Makes sense.
Well, yeah, it all follows the logical mechanics of the world, the internal logic of the universe.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a valid criticism. I think that there's probably maybe a few other things you could probably criticise. None of that comes to mind. I think, if I was to go through and watch it maybe a couple more times, I could certainly pick some bad elements.
Yeah.
But that's the same as anything. I was so encapsulated by what I was watching.
Well, yeah.
It's
like,
like,
if you miss stuff because of the great execution of other elements, then great other elements overshadow it.
Exactly. So it's I think that you can certainly you can mistread by wanking off a movie and saying, oh yeah, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I've got like 4 or 5 this included sci-fi movies that are sort of like that. So encapsulated by the things that were fucking executed so well.
Yeah.
That any critique is fucking just sort of very minimal.
And well, that's the funny thing about critique. Like, you could sit down with Citizen Kane and book and paper, and you could go over the film, and you could find all these little tiny technical issues with Citizen Kane and this and that, but should give an overall image of what the film is. And Citizen Kane is amazing, and Brazil is amazing, and there are a few moments, maybe pacing a bit too long for some people. I can't honestly say that they should have cut any of it out, because even when you get to the end and it is so long, all those moments are so great and so brilliant.
Well, there's no padding.
Yeah, me as an idiot sitting in a garage can't say you should cut them out. In conclusion, pretty sure we've said this 1,000 times. This film is brilliant, technically, narrative, tonally. A few little nitpicks, but there's a few little nitpicks in every single piece of art. And if you haven't seen Brazil and you like sci-fi and you like dystopia, or even if you just like Monty Python.
Even Monty Python was so, it's funny because I'm a huge fan of all those things, so it's a bit of a fucking...
you like sci-fi, you like dystopia, you like Monty Python. Yeah, so this is your wet dream.
My wet dream, I love this fucking shit, absolutely. So if you haven't seen it, and it sounds like something, you should have fucking listened to us at the start and gone and watched it instead of watching this. But if you're still watching, you should like us anyway.
Should come back to the review and continue watching.
Listen to us wank off about the movie.
Shamelessly.
Shamelessly.
Right, help out, like, subscribe, comment, or don't, whatever, man.